Hi, in this video I will tell you a statistics story from Indian Statistical Institute. This was told to us by Professor Bimal Kumar Roy. He was also the director of ISI Kolkata for a good amount of time. What he told is not something which is not seen by you guys, which is something which all of us might have observed at some point or the other, not exactly the way he is describing, but in some variant of that particular case. Now it involves cooking, and yes, I have already shared one statistics story about ISI Kolkata which helped India deal with the refugee crisis in Red Fort during the partition. Now that involved salt, maths and a bit of common sense. You can find the link to that video over here. I'm pretty sure that few of you must have seen that if you replace pressure cooker with an open container and use that to cook rice, that's not infeasible or impossible, but it would just require a bit more time and an effort. You will just need to keep on stirring the rice and keep on checking after some time that whether the rice is cooked or not. Now how will you do that? So professor said that he saw his mother that she used to do all the household chores and keep on stirring the open container at some regular intervals of time. Now the point here is when she keeps on stirring at some regular intervals of time, what she is doing is trying to expose every particle of rice to the same heat for the same duration of time. Now, what is the statistics behind this? Now, the statistics behind this is she is trying to make all the rice particles independent of each other, or rather you can say identical treatment to each other, and independent as well, because no rice has something different, or no rice has a kind of a correlation that this rice is close to this rice, so it will be cooked in the same way. Every rice is getting the same amount of random treatment. Now, once she has to check if the rice is cooked properly or not, she used to just take out one particle of rice or one grain of rice and just examine it. Now, you may say that why are we only taking only one grain of rice? Why not we are taking the entire rice to check if it is cooked or not? To some of you, it might sound ludicrous, but this is a genuine question that how can one rice grain or one rice particle give you the complete information of the whole container? Now, to understand this, let's understand that I have made the open container contain rice particles which are independent of each other, and they have been given equal treatment. So, which means if one particle is cooked properly, everything else, the rest of the particles would also be cooked properly. Now this is known as drawing out random samples. So what we have understood so far, while cooking the rice in that kind of an open container, you are creating an independent kind of distribution of rice particles, and you are drawing out random samples out of that container. So this is an application of statistics which we use on day-to-day basis, but we are not aware that we are using this. You can do the same thing with other cooking examples as well. I mean, if you have ever tried to cook some kind of a vegetable, you will know that it requires constant stirring and checking whether it is cooked or not, and everything else is pretty similar to the rice story which I have just narrated, which shows that we are unknowingly using statistics in our daily life and not realizing it. Now, to all of you, I have to just say that it's not a matter of some kind of a rocket science to build statistical temperament, but just be aware of all the things which you're looking at. And the same goes for other sciences as well. And yes, I used to like physics a lot because I used to observe it on a wide scale all around me. And the same goes for statistics. I observe it all around me. So even you can do that. So if you have to build that statistical temperament, or if you think about how to think statistically, then these kinds of stories should help you. And yes, I've also made a video on how to think statistically. So you might want to check that out from here.